Came out very focused, with a lot of energy. I think we jumped out to a 16-7 lead, and they responded like I know a Will Brown coach team does. Got a lot of respect for them. Watched a ton of tape on them, and I think we started to make some shots at the end of the second half and carried over. Even though our numbers weren't great, we made it enough to keep a distance, and then at the end we made a few more shots. So I just talked about the offense, but the reason we won the game was our defensive side of the ball, our defensive focus, and the energy that we've had. Coach Matt Blue did a great job with the scout. We talked about a few of their tendencies, and the Albany team, watching all the tape I did, them in transition, and then if they get their shooters in space, they're a handful. So I thought our guys were really focused on getting back early in transition, and then the second key, I thought we notified and identified their offensive players early. I mean, here's my thought. I think Black's the best point guard in the league. Okay, just watching them. I've only seen two teams, but to me, he's a really game changer. And I think wasn't he hurt early on?
Yes, he was.
And I think him coming back, and I particularly like him, and I know I've talked to Will on occasion about him. He's fond of him. So if I'm looking at an Albany team, I think they're going to compete for the championship this year, and I know how Will coaches. He's one of the best coaches in this league, and he'll have his guys ready. And we were just fortunate enough to make more shots today, and really that's the summary there. And I think their big kid Devlin. I mean, I'm familiar with the Australian basketball. He's a really good prospect. His first move tonight, I realized why all the people in Sydney were high on him. You have to look at it like if it's a 3-10 season and you lose 6 of those games all by 20, then you're saying, all right, you know what, we got to just get better. We have to look at, but there's 6 games where you led 4 of them by double figures. And the coach found a way to do something screwed up. So realistically, what I knew all along was, as Steve Donahue would say to me, is there's evidence there that you're good. Mm-hmm. There's evidence. It's not like we're just making this up. So we came in and we just talked about how good we're going to be. And it takes I got to tell you, it took a lot of, I would say, fortitude or gumption to really believe. I mean, because if you watch some of our losses, you would say you can't lose that way. We had 4 games like the Eagles Giants, and we were the Giants. I mean, we had 4 of those games. So it became like, all right, this is a new season. And when we went up to Maine, and I realized how good Maine is, and we won that game, I think everybody in the room realized that, you know what, we can be good.
Also, one thing I noticed at one point, Savvy and Zeglinski were 4 for 22 at one point. And if you look at that number, you're probably thinking, well, we don't have too much of a chance maybe to win early. But the balance you had, and so many other guys played well today, that obviously didn't make a difference. And not only didn't make a difference, you guys won in a blow.
Yeah, like we charted Milton Burton in shooting. Okay, he was shooting 25% to start the season off. First thing, he shot 45% in Australia when we took the Australian tour, and he shot 45% in practice. So when he's at his 22, 23 clip, I coach with Speedy Morris, and Speedy used to say to me, I said, Speedy, Rasul Butler just missed 7 in a row. He goes, what do you want me to tell him, to stop shooting? I can't tell guys that make shots to stop shooting. So now he's starting to get confident, and I think like Joe Zeglinski, I mean, he's 2 for 12 and Morgan's 2 for 8, and you win that game. I mean, normally you're right. Normally you're probably down but the defense is what they're really believing in. The defensive side of the ball is, and I credit my assistant coaches on that angle because they're really scouting. Like President Harrison said to me the other day, do you look at opponents ahead of time? I don't look at an opponent ahead of the time. My assistant is watching 10 games. He comes to me, this is what we have to do. And we will go back and forth on how you guard ball screens. Are we going to double the post? How are we going to score? Where are we going to score from? So we'll spend tonight 6 or 7 hours talking about how we're going to do that versus New Hampshire. And then, so that's how we go about this.
Does everybody have the green light to shoot a 3 on this team?
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, here's what I'd like to say. This is not an equal opportunity offense. This is a know your role offense. So Anthony Minor, if he shoots a 3, he's got to explain to me at some point why he shot it. It was 1 second on the shot clock. Now, if he does a jump hook and it misses, so it's more of you know your role. If Clayton Brothers has his feet set, we're gonna let it go. We shoot hundreds a day.
So do you see you guys living and dying by the 3?
I don't think so. If you look at our at how we shot the 3, did the ball touch the paint first? Normally it does. The only time it doesn't is if it's a break situation or Zeglinski's open early. Mm-hmm. And normally I like getting 3s from the paint out.
Lost a few close games that could have went either way, and coach preached the whole time that they're going to come during conference play and it's going to pay off, and it is right now. So we're just going to keep pushing forward.
No, not really. I mean, basketball is a game of runs. Basically, when you stop the run, you got to create your own. So that's what we was aiming for when we did it.